Peace, family. It's your brother, Marc Lamont Hill. You're watching the Marc Lamont Hill official YouTube channel. I know it's late. I know y'all thought we weren't going to come through, but like I said, every single day I'm committed to doing this, brothers and sisters. It's unfortunate that we have to do it, but it is day 140 in Israel's war on Gaza. And we are here, as always, to cover that information. We're going to give you the story and the data and the developments and the analysis that nobody else in mainstream media and corporate media is doing. And that's what we're here for. So I want to shout y'all out. Give y'all some love as I start giving you some of the updates. Again, I know it's almost the end of the day, like into tomorrow, but I gave you my word and I'm going to do my best to honor it. Shout out to everybody out there. Montier Elliott, thank you, my brother. Appreciate you. Appreciate the love. Appreciate your consistency. You too, Michaela Lewis. I see you out there. They both Marc Lamont Hill channel members. I got you, Dallas Jazz out there. I love y'all, man. I love y'all so much. Salam to everybody. You, Anahastra, you, HMG Studio, Ketiwe Zulu. You know, I appreciate you, my sister. Everybody out there writing in Mohammed Bakhiad. I don't think I've seen you before, but I want to thank you, or at least I ain't shout you out before. If I did, thank you. Be blessed, live the dream. Appreciate you, Mike from Canada. All of y'all, love y'all. We're gonna do a quick update, and then we're gonna do a members only chat, I believe, right afterward. Look, day 140 is a wild number. And as we go into day 140, we are looking at 30,000 Palestinians killed. We're looking at 69,000 injured. The numbers are getting worse, and the humanitarian crisis is getting worse. It's not just a crisis of death. It's not just a crisis of maiming. It's also a crisis of hunger. It's a crisis of homelessness. And all of these things are being exacerbated right now. Yesterday, a series of Israeli attacks on central Gaza killed 40 people and injured another 100. Again, killed 40 people, injured another 100. This is the kind of reality we're dealing with, where you're seeing every single day the death numbers just going up. I mean, hundreds of people a week are getting killed. And in the case of what we saw in central Gaza on Thursday, this is the result of fairly indiscriminate attacks by the Israeli military. Fairly indiscriminate attacks by the Israeli military are what's causing this. There's a comment here, and I don't know if it's a sincere question or a troll, but the question is, why can't Egypt do more and open their borders? I'll come to that, and I'll answer that question for you before the end. Make sure y'all remind me. Herman Gill, shout out to you. Rosability, shout out to you. Love you, all the way out in Oakland. Let's get to it though. At the same time that people are being killed and injured, you have an Israeli military that is being indiscriminate in their attacks. They're not doing surgical strikes against individual combatants. They're blowing up homes. They're shooting inside of hospitals. They're attacking caravans, humanitarian networks. All this stuff is happening at the same time. At the same time that the people were killed in central Gaza, I want to talk a little bit about what's happening in Khan Yunis, because for days now I've been telling you about what's happening in Nasser Hospital. Nasser Hospital is in Khan Yunis, and people are still trying to evacuate the hospital. Medical professionals there have been saying for days, hey, we need to stay. We need to heal people. We need to make sure people are well. We need to treat the people who are coming in. We need to allow people out. But because Khan Yunis has been under such extraordinary attack, because there's been so much violence, because it's been besieged, it's been a political and a humanitarian impossibility. So now aid agencies are trying to evacuate what's left of Khan Yunis Hospital, or Nasser Hospital in Khan Yunis. 140 patients are stranded there. What makes it interesting is Israeli troops stormed the hospital, shot it up, pushed people out, did all kinds of harm. They evacuated the place. The Israeli troops then left. And now they stormed it again. So this is a complicated thing. So again, when you think there's safety, when you think there's a possibility of peace, there's not. There's nothing stable there. Um, According to Gaza's health ministry, it's not 140, it's 110. Those are debatable. But they also said that 8 patients at Nasser died due to a lack of power and a lack of oxygen 4 days earlier. Uh, Again, 8 patients at this hospital, Nasser Hospital in Khan Yunis, died because of a lack of power and a lack of oxygen. These are not um, shocking deaths. These are not unforeseeable deaths. If you don't have power and you don't have oxygen, you're going to die. It's so grotesque that their bodies were starting to decompose in the hospital. They died from a lack of power and a lack of oxygen, and their bodies were decomposing, which is not only hard to look at, not only does it create a smell, it also creates health hazards. It literally poses a risk to the other patients. And people will say, well, what do you want Israel to do? Shout out to you, Ketiwe Zulu, becoming a member. Appreciate you, my sister. Well, if you don't think Israel occupies Gaza, if you think that Hamas controls Gaza and that Israel has nothing to do with it, then how the hell is the power off? How is the electricity off? How's the water off? How's the gas off? These aren't things that just happen. These aren't things that just happen. Anyway, Gaza's population of 2.3 million faces acute hunger, as I said earlier, and the spread of disease. There has never been a humanitarian crisis in like the one we're seeing in Gaza right now in Palestine. I mean, we've seen worse atrocities, we've seen more deaths, we've seen more killing, we've seen all kinds of things. Palestine is no stranger to brutality and settler colonial violence. But the humanitarian dimension that you see in Rafah in the south, what you see in Khan Yunis, even what you're beginning to see in Gaza City, and now in the north, you're seeing hunger issues. You're seeing, um, again, people being unhoused because most of the Palestinian population in Gaza has been forced to the south. It's a mess. Anyway, separately, an independent panel investigating Israeli claims of ties between UNRWA, the United Nations Relief Works Agency, uh, will focus on whether the agency has done enough to uphold UN standards of neutrality. Look, UNRWA is going to be investigated. And yeah, there's an absolute chance that UNRWA has made some mistakes. But based on the evidence that we've seen, based on the information that we have, there's no reason to believe that UNRWA is complicit in terrorism. Um, there's no reason to believe that the lack of neutrality is an actual ethical or moral transgression, as opposed to simply saying UNRWA is responsible for Palestinian refugees. Israel made them refugees. So this is the work that they're trying to do. I see Curtis saying the UN has been anti-Israel since 1980. I'd love to know your evidence of that. I think that Israel has consistently said that the world community is after them, that the UN and Amnesty International and Human Rights Watch, all these human rights watchdog organizations are actually evil organizations trying to go after Israel, as opposed to them simply trying to hold Israel accountable. It's all about holding Israel accountable. But we'll talk about that another time, y'all. There's some regional tensions going up. European Union Foreign Policy Chief Joseph Borrell said Israel cannot unilaterally block a Palestinian state. This is a response to Israel lately, basically saying they don't want to reward Palestine and Palestinians for their resistance or for their quote unquote terrorism by offering them a state. This is nuts. In New York City, thousands of protesters have marched to the office of AIPAC, the pro-Israel lobby group, the American Israel Public Affairs Committee, demanding a ceasefire. In the International Court of Justice, China said that Palestinians must not be denied justice regarding the hearings on the occupation, which should end on Monday. All across the board, the world is calling out for a free Palestine. The world is calling out for a ceasefire. The world is calling out for the liberation of the Palestinian people. And even the United States, and I'll get into this later, is finally speaking up and standing up and saying something about the illegality of the West Bank settlements. It's a small step, but it's something. It's something. It's something. Gaza ain't the only story either, y'all. Even in Palestine, in the West Bank, an Israeli airstrike struck a vehicle in the Jenin refugee camp. It killed one person yesterday. Um, Israel announced Bezalel Smotrich, he's a finance minister, announced that the country is going to build 3,344 new homes inside the illegal Israeli settlements in the West Bank. So even as the Gaza crisis is happening, Israel's saying, look, we're just going to keep building. We're going to keep growing illegally. The Israel forces have also demolished 2 homes in the last day. A water well and the electricity network were also wiped out in the Khalet al-Farra community, which is right under Khalil or Hebron in the West Bank. We're seeing so much violence, so much destruction, so much dispossession. It's wild. It's wild. Anyway, family, I'm going to do another live in a few minutes. I want to go live one more time with y'all. Maybe members only, but I want to do Q&A. Y'all want to do Q&A? Let me know if y'all want to do Q&A. Hit the like button if you want to do Q&A. In the meantime, family, hit subscribe. If you're not a member, hit the subscribe button. If also join. I'd love tonight if 1 or 2 people could join the channel. And of course, go straight to our Cash App if you don't want to do the subscription thing. And you can donate something. Even $1 helps, y'all. Even $1 helps build the channel. $ MLHTV. I love y'all. Thanks for watching. I'll see you later.